Not in 100 years from now will Benfica ever be European champions. These famous words hold true 61 years and 8 European finals later. Welcome to World of Foot. My name's Eddie, and we'll be taking a deep dive into another famous football curse that many people do not know about. I want to thank Ian for this recommendation. Please let me know in the comments below if you want to see any topics covered. I also want to thank you all for the support you've been giving me in these past few videos. But with all that out of the way, let's take a look at the story of Benfica and their 100-year curse. The year is 1963. Benfica are coming off back-to-back European final victories against Football Club Barcelona and Real Madrid. With a great squad and a 20-year-old Eusebio on the team, Benfica looked like they'd be the team to beat for the next decade. But one decision by recently elected club president Antonio Cabral Fesas Vidal ended up costing the Portuguese club a bright European future. But to understand this story, we must first look at how Benfica got to win these back-to-back European titles. In 1959, Benfica hired Guttmann as manager. Benfica had just come in second to bitter rivals Porto in the Primeira Liga. Something needed to change, which is why Guttmann was hired. Born in Hungary, Guttmann was a well-known coach at the time. He had most recently led Porto to that title just a year before. Guttmann was more than passionate about the sport. He played for 14 years before starting his coaching career in 1933. But in 1944, things took a very dark turn for him and millions of people in Europe. Guttmann was an Austrian-Hungarian Jew, which sadly meant that he was a target for the Nazis. He hid in his brother-in-law's attic before being captured and sent to a labor camp near Budapest. He was tortured and sadly lost several of his family members. But Guttmann wasn't a man to back down. That same year, he managed to escape the labor camp with another Jewish Hungarian coach named Ernest Erbstein. Once the war ended, he went straight back into coaching. Guttmann never lost that love and passion for the sport. He revolutionized the sport with a 4-2-4 formation and was notorious for having a fierce attacking style of play. At the time, players and coaches were not worried about diet and peak fitness, but Guttmann was one of the first to implement that into his teams, and many clubs took notice of this. This was the perfect man to take over the struggling Benfica side. Benfica was founded in 1904, and they hold the most league titles in the Primeira Liga with 38. They are part of the well-known Big Three, which include Porto and Sporting Club de Portugal. Before Guttmann was appointed, they had won the league 9 times in their 52-year history. At the time of his appointment, Sporting had won the league 10 times, making them the team with the most championships. But that all changed with Guttmann. He implemented his strict diet and fitness plan alongside rigorous training sessions. He immediately sacked 20 first-team players and promoted the youth. Benfica looked like a brand new team ready to take the league and Europe by storm. In his first season in charge, Benfica won the league by 2 points against bitter rival Sporting. With this incredible debut season, he pushed his team and focused on their guns-blazing attacking style. The following season in 1960, Benfica again won the league over Sporting. This was their 11th league title, and they also had Golden Boot winner with Jose Aguas, scoring 27 goals. But that wasn't their biggest achievement that season. Benfica had made it to their very first European final. They faced a strong Barcelona side who had just knocked out previous winners Real Madrid. The game went underway in Switzerland. Barcelona scored first in the 21st minute, but Benfica was quick to tie it up just 10 minutes later with Aguas. A Barcelona own goal just 60 seconds later gave the Portuguese Eagles the lead. Each team scored one more goal, but at the end of the 90 minutes, Benfica were crowned champions. Guttmann was seen as a genius for winning a double in his second season in charge of Benfica. With that magical season over, Guttmann got straight to work once again to ensure that Benfica could stay as one of the best teams in the world. He wanted to recruit new players to further bolster his squad. Guttmann was recommended to sign this 19-year-old playing in Mozambique. Guttmann saw how Sao Paulo couldn't afford to sign him, so he quickly pounced on the opportunity. This teenager was named Eusebio. Little did anyone know he would turn out to be one of the greatest Portuguese players of all time. With new players coming in and coming off a great season, Benfica was ready to pick up where they left off before. Unfortunately for them, they finished 3rd place that year in the league. Sporting ended up winning their 11th title, tying Benfica's record. But when it came to Europe, Benfica ran riot. Benfica scored 17 goals in 6 games before reaching the finals. The final was held in Amsterdam, where they'd face a Real Madrid side led by Di Stefano and Puskas. The game was historic, with a total of 8 goals scored. Puskas scored a hat-trick in that match, but it wasn't enough as Benfica scored 5 goals, 2 of which were scored by Eusebio. With back-to-back European championships, Benfica was looked at as the best team in the world. With dominating Europe and bringing back league titles to the club, Guttmann asked the president for a pay rise. The president quickly denied it. This was when Guttmann told the president that Benfica would never win another European championship for the next 100 years. With Guttmann gone, Benfica still had prolific players and had grown into one of the most fit teams in Europe. They went on to win 3 consecutive league titles once Guttmann left, but they didn't manage to win anything in Europe. They had reached the European finals in 1963, but lost to an incredible Milan side. Just 2 years later, they lost again in the finals, but this time to Inter. This was the last time they reached a European final until 1983 in the UEFA Cup, which they lost to Anderlecht. 5 years after that defeat against Anderlecht, Benfica finally reached a European final once again. They faced PSV, and the game ended up in penalties, with the Dutch side winning 6-5. Even with these European defeats, Benfica were winning their league on a consistent basis. Domestic triumphs aside, Benfica has kept losing European finals. Bela Guttmann's curse could just be summed up to coincidence, or the lack of funds that the Primeira Liga has compared to the top 5 leagues in Europe. The closest they have gone to what is now known as the Champions League was in 1990, when Frank Rijkaard scored the only goal in the match, leading to Milan lifting another European championship. More recently though, they have made it to the Europa League final in 2013, where they'd once again lose, but this time to a Chelsea side that was way too good to be in the Europa League. But it seems like Guttmann's fateful words seriously cursed the club. The last time they made it to a European final was against Sevilla in 2014, where they'd lose in penalties. Since their 1962 triumph, Benfica have lost a total of 8 European finals. Benfica have dropped in level the past 20 years, but they're not fully at fault for that. The football world has turned to a sport revolving around money, and it was inevitable that Benfica would start to lose out on star-studded signings. In all fairness to them though, they have produced loads of young talent through their academies, but they sadly can't hold on to them due to the amount of money being offered for their players. They still have a brilliant squad and have just won the Primeira Liga for the 38th time in their history. And with more and more European competitions being created, they have a great chance to break this curse. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this curse. Do you think that Benfica can win another European final? I think it's tough, but with the squad they have right now, and if they don't sell anybody, they have a great chance. Thank you for your patience. I know I haven't been producing as much content lately. I just want to make sure I'm producing great content instead of just posting something that doesn't have the quality I want. Make sure to leave a like on the video, and please let me know what you want to see next in the comments below. Much love, everyone. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.